So I think my preference is going to be a name that we haven't heard yet, and that is Trajan Langdon, who is the GM of the New Orleans Pelicans, working under Vice President of Basketball Operations, David Griffin. Langdon, from what I've heard, a lot of players, or should I say a lot of league personnel, almost credit Langdon more than some of New Orleans' recent success than David Griffin. He seems to be the person who I think a lot of teams go to speak to. He has quite a large role as a GM. So I think that's very interesting. He was another guy who was assistant GM with the Brooklyn Nets. So I think it wouldn't surprise me again if Schnall, Plotkin have some links, if they're already linked him to Jeff Peterson with Brooklyn, because he was formerly with the Hawks, I believe. I'm doubting myself now I'm saying that, but I feel like there was definitely a Hawks link at some point. Yes, he was. Then I think there's obviously some links there as well with Langdon. And Chase, do you want to know how deep I got down a rabbit hole? I'm about to really impress you here.
Okay,
so
here we go.
Did you know? Yeah. Trajan Langdon. I was like, I wonder, I know he went to Duke. Okay. I wonder if he's got any North Carolina ties. So I started looking into where he grew up. Grew up in California, moved to Anchorage, actually. Interesting.
Cool.
But his wife was Russian. Okay. Met her playing overseas, playing for CSK Moscow. His sons play basketball. I was like, where do his sons play basketball, right? Do they play in North Carolina? No, they don't. No, I couldn't find. However, his sister, Chase, Trajan Langdon's sister, Trista Langdon, worked for the Charlotte Bobcats for 16 years as VP of Arena, of Events and Operations, and founder of the Charlotte Hornets EDI Council. She led on the COVID year, all the operations to do with that. She led on the rebrand from the Bobcats to the Hornets Arena. You were talking about Trajan Langdon's sister being one of the major business operations staff for 16 years with that franchise. That is a link you cannot ignore.
Wow.
Yeah.
See, you're not going to get that kind of digging anywhere else. This is something that you're only going to find on the All Hornets podcast network at Inside the Hive via James Plowright. That is incredible research. That is 16 years. Like, she knows the inner workings of this organization better than literally anybody maybe that is currently still there. Like, Mitch Kupchak is in what I think his 6th season in charge is what he is going to finish as after this year. She has an extra 10 years on Mitch. Like, that is somebody that you can go to from Trajan Langdon's perspective and get like a very genuine, insightful opinion on like what it is like to work there, what it is like to live there in Charlotte.
And
like
she now works for the Washington
area.
football team as well. So she no longer works for the Bobcats, which means she would actually be able to talk to him, right?
Exactly.
It's not like she works for the team and she wouldn't be able to. So she's completely free now to speak to him.
That is a very strong link right there. That's really interesting. And I'm if we hear Trajan Langdon like down the line as somebody that's, you know, once the list has been narrowed down, like is still there, like that would be interesting to explore. Like if he ends up getting hired, or even if he doesn't, if that was something that had any influence at all. That's very interesting. Quality research, James. Very well done.
Thank you. I will take credit for that one because, you know, you sometimes go down these rabbit holes looking for something and you never really know what you're looking for. And then sometimes you just stumble across like pieces of gold and you're like, oh, wow, like I don't think anyone else knows this yet. So,
no, definitely not.